Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You can't make shit up. So you got a guy who steals, let's say, from the biggest bank. He just robs a bank, and he points the finger at the guy who steals a quarter, 25 cents. He's like, "That's the big thief! Danger, danger!" That's a warning right there. So this is the United States of America, who is actually arming Ukraine to kill the Russians to defend themselves. That's called aid, but the aid is only defensive. They don't send any missiles, no airplanes, nothing, no drones to kill anybody. They just defend themselves. Okay, so they give almost more than $100 billion in military weapons to kill other people. Let's put it the way it is, okay? I'm not going to use euphemisms here like aid, defensive, garbage. No, it's killing other people. That's war machine, war weapons. That's what it is, okay? Let's cut the crap. And the same thing with the Russians. They're not sending flowers and the Ukrainians are like, thank you, love you too. Not like that, okay? So what we have here is this weasel Kirby. Weasel, he's a weasel. He warns us, and I think the Russians and the North Koreans, that they advance their arms negotiations are advancing. When I thought that North Koreans have garbage weapons, so let them have them. No, all of a sudden that's a danger. You see, this is how these guys are weasels. You say the Russians have garbage weapons, but on the other hand, your weapons can't do shit against the Russian weapons. Then you say North Koreans' weapons are garbage, but you're concerned that the Koreans could provide the Russians with weapons. So are they garbage or they're not garbage? Which one is it? I want to hear it. So they're advanced or not? I'm sure that they've come with a very, very weasel justification. So let's see what these guys are saying. The Hill reports right here. The Hill from the 30th, 8:30. What the hell? These guys are upside down, man. It's just the 30th of August, 2023. White House warns Russia, North Korea, weapons negotiations are actively advancing. So I tell you what Russia says. So let me unzip. What? So, I mean, you are sending more than $100 billion worth of weapons that kill, and you cry now? How much do you think this collaboration will be? $10 million collaboration weapons transfer? Really? Really? You must be in very bad shape if you're crying about North Koreans providing the Russians with weapons. I mean, you'll be like pathetic. So, the Biden administration said Wednesday that it had new intelligence that we believe, because they found the weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, remember, demonstrating that arms negotiations between Russia and North Korea are actively advancing. So, you want to destroy both of them. You want to turn them into vassal states. So what do you expect? White House National Security Council spokesperson. Yeah, he's a spokesperson. He's not a man. John Kirby, this one. Listen to him talk. That's the way he is. That's how he is. Oh, I can't stand this retard. But anyway, he is what he is. Let's go. What do we have here? White House National Security warned Pyongyang to not provide, military support to Russia for its war in Ukraine, saying it would directly violate a number of UN Security Council resolutions. This guy, man. Oh, and North Korea is like, let me show you how the woodchuck says. Yeah, okay, let's watch some NBA. Jesus Christ, man. These guys are jokers. Let me look at this. Directly violate a number of UN Security Council resolutions. I remember in 1999. Sorry to bring that up, but we're never gonna forget that. When certain countries, including the United States of America, did not have the authorization of the Security Council to bomb a independent sovereign country called Yugoslavia at that point. Still Yugoslavia, it was Serbia, I think, and Montenegro together, forming still what was left of Yugoslavia. And they destroyed the country and generations. And not only that, a lot of Serbs love the United States because of that. And unfortunately, they conflate the US government with the American people sometimes. But the US government is formed of people that were voted in office by the American people. And those guys that were voting in office formed their administration based on their needs. So the decision ultimately, how a lot of people try to put the blame on the German people because Hitler did his hanky-panky. Why can't we do the same way here? Well, because they didn't say anything. Well, we supposedly say every 4 years at elections and see what we got. Because they're fair and free elections. And they're trying again. But anyway, so here is, my friends, this guy warns them, and North Korea doesn't give a rat's ass about it. The US has imposed sanctions on individuals and entities it says have facilitated weapons transfers from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, the formal name of North Korea, to the Wagner Group, the mercenary army that has been fighting for Ukraine. The White House said that it has not yet observed North Korea directly supplying Russia's armed forces. On numerous occasions, I'm quoting, the DPRK has said publicly that they will not sell to Russia. So what? They changed their mind, like you changed your mind. But we remain concerned that DPRK continues to consider providing military support to Russia's military forces in Ukraine. We're continuing to monitor the situation closely, and we urge the DPRK to cease its arms negotiations with Russia and abide by the public commitments that Pyongyang has made not to provide or sell arms to Russia. Hey, Kirby, why do you think the North Koreans are developing more nuclear weapons? Why do you think the North Koreans are, launching their little ballistic missiles over Japan and in the Sea of Japan and all that? Why do you think? It's because you are in the area and you conduct all kinds of drills close to their peninsula, and they feel very threatened. So you tell them that you urge them, and you expect them to say, yes, we take into consideration your bullshit. Are you crazy? I mean, really, my friends, put yourselves in the shoes of North Korea, and let's say your property is North Korea, and you have your neighbors around here, and sometimes you have little scuffles left and right, and you have another guy who's, 10 settlements away from you, an ocean away from you, and he comes in your neighborhood, and he does all kind of military drills next to you, and then urges you not to talk with your other neighbor, because why? You're not in the neighborhood. You're not a person affiliated with our neighborhood anyway. What the fuck are you doing in the area in the first place? Oh, you are helping. Helping why? Destroy me? That's why you're helping that? I mean, this is just unbelievable. It's so much hypocrisy, and they say it with a straight face, and nobody challenged them. When this weasel Kirby spoke about it, it was not nobody like me to ask him, what are you talking about? You want to change their government. You want to destroy those guys over there, and you urge them? Who the hell you think you are? Who the hell you think you are? But nobody asks that. That tells you the free media in the free world is garbage. Is garbage. And we believe that in the communist times. Why? Because, that's the way it was. Those guys were worse, we thought. But then we realized these guys are experts in misinformation and disinformation. Those guys were, how should I put it, rudimentary, like bottom, like cruel, like caveman. But these guys are intellectuals. Psychologically, they fool you. Psychologically, they propagandize you. But they don't have to go too deep and too smart anymore, because the population is dumbed down. And this is the problem. They have 1/3, so they have 30% of the population has college diplomas here. So they're educated. They're not educated. They think they are. And by thinking they are, they say, well, and I'm able to understand the media. I'm educated. Well, really. Really. That's why you voted for Obama 2 times, right? Yeah. And that's why you voted for this semi-conscious guy over there in White House 1 time with Kamala Harris. Sophisticated my ass. Go and drink your freaking, how do you call that, soybean latte over there and look on your laptop and be intellectual, and other people work for you. Yeah, creating, for instance, just wine. All right, my friends. Anyway, it's just hypocritical. These guys, and you tell me this is the world order? About the sanctions, can I tell you a country that really violates certain kind of Security Council resolutions? How many times was the United States condemned for its embargo on Cuba? What, 32 times or something? 32 times or 36 times? Did you give a fuck about it? No, didn't care. So how about that? Why don't you talk about it? How many times you vetoed certain resolutions in the Middle East, not to mention deeper than that? You veto it. How many times you oppose that? And what happened over there in the Middle East? When I say Middle East, I'm not saying, Lebanon, all right? So, my friends, these guys are talking about, how do you call it? Rule-based world order. Rule-based. I don't want to be under that rule-based world order if I would be anybody else but one in the U.S. government. I don't want to be. Because that is, I can do whatever I want and I tell you what to do. And you have to say yes, sir, otherwise I smack you. Don't think it's like that? Okay, what can I tell you? You either drink some wine, beer, or whatever you drink, or go around the block. I suggest you go around the block at least halfway. And you're going to realize just by evidence, historical evidence, facts, not me just, vomiting here, this and that. Go and do your own research and you're going to find out. And if you want, just take the past 30 years. You don't have to go further than that. Just the past 30 years. And you have plenty of examples to convince you that here is a hegemonic action by one country. One. And it's not China. All right? Maybe China wanna be, but it's a different story. As of now, it's another country. And it's been like this, trying to grab everybody by the balls. And unfortunately now it's trying to ingest something that is too big for it to ingest, which is Russia, with China, with India and others. And they know it, but they still go. Why? The profits are to be made. That's the profits are still, they know the war is lost in Ukraine, they know, but they are still pushed by profits. There are certain industries, certain backers, certain people from the shadows over there, they make a profit. And they're going to do it with the Ukrainian nation being decimated. Do they care? No, they don't. They don't even want to talk about it. That's even worse. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.